Maravilha. Felipe, falando agora sobre 2026 no geral, né? Uma coisa que a gente está acostumado a ver os pilotos da Fórmula E, eles terem uma jornada dupla, dividindo a Fórmula E com outras categorias, o EC, IMSA. Você pretende ficar 100% focado na Fórmula E ou tem a possibilidade de talvez fazer uma outra temporada completa ou mesmo provas esporádicas, como foi o caso de Le Mans, Daytona, nesses últimos anos?
Eu acho que é uma opção, sim, não tem nada confirmado ainda, realmente bem longe disso. O foco principal é a Fórmula E. E eu acho que no futuro, se surgir essa oportunidade, é legal, sim. Tem muitos pilotos que fazem isso e logicamente, assim, corridas icônicas como Le Mans. No caso, mesmo se for só Le Mans, eu acho que é muito, muito válido e, para mim, eu adoraria. Mas acho que uma coisa de cada vez, um passo de cada vez. O foco agora é a Fórmula E. Mas vamos ver. Acho que não é tão distante assim. Eu estou, logicamente, sondando algumas coisas, mas não é nem perto de ser o foco por enquanto.
E no momento, né, ainda em 2025, você está atuando como piloto reserva da Aston Martin. Para 2026, você planeja continuar, talvez fazer igual o Van Dorn, que tem essa jornada dupla, ou vai ficar realmente só com o Andretti?
Isso é indefinido até agora. A gente tem que ver como é que vai acabar o ano. Realmente, acho que a gente estava pelo menos esperando ver o que ia dar com a Andretti para realmente fazer o próximo passo com seja qualquer outra equipe que for, mesmo com a Aston. Então, por enquanto é tudo indefinido, a gente vai ver como é que vai ser. E se eu sentir que for interessante para mim, sim.
Maravilha, Felipe, a gente está chegando aqui no final da nossa entrevista, mas antes eu queria que você mandasse um recado para a galera que está assistindo, o pessoal, convidando a galera para acompanhar a Fórmula E, para torcer assistindo aí as suas corridas nessa próxima temporada.
Eu queria primeiramente agradecer toda a torcida aí, pessoal, muita gente mandando mensagem, querendo saber onde que eu ia correr, pessoal curioso pra caramba, e isso eu adoro. Então, tô feliz demais, queria agradecer a todo o suporte de todo mundo. E principalmente agora, estreando no Brasil, vai ser incrível. Eu conto com a torcida de todos, quem morar em São Paulo, ou até quem não morar em São Paulo, mas quiser realmente apoiar, sinta-se em casa. Eu estarei muito feliz de poder fazer o meu melhor na frente de todo mundo lá e espero que a pista seja cheia de brasileiros lá apoiando. Então, um grande abraço e muito obrigado a todos. Um abraço.
É isso aí, ó, 6 e 7 de dezembro, Eprix de São Paulo da Fórmula E, a gente vai estar lá acompanhando, vamos encher seu saco muito nesse fim de semana do Eprix de São Paulo. Mas, Felipe, brigadão por essa entrevista aqui hoje.
Valeu, obrigado. Um abraço.
Esse foi o Felipe Drugovich. Olha, tá animado o menino, hein? Já tá fazendo contagem regressiva e a gente também. Olha, com certeza a gente vai estar acompanhando tudo da estreia do Drugovich aqui em São Paulo. E para você que vai estar lá no IMB, vamos lá, vamos fazer toda a torcida para os nossos dois brasileiros do grid, né? O Drugovich e o Lucas de Grassi, que também teve o contrato confirmado com a Lola Yamaha Habit nessa semana. E olha, nossas entrevistas não param por aqui, porque a gente tem também o chefe da Andretti na Fórmula E, Roger Griffiths, falando um pouquinho sobre como foi o processo de contratação do Drugovich e o que esperar dessa nova fase da equipe. Confere aí.
Roger, thank you so much for joining us here today. First of all, we are here for an exciting piece of news. Felipe Drugovich now is an Andretti driver for Formula E. What does the signing of Felipe means for Andretti?
I mean, first off, we're super excited not only to have signed Felipe, but also to be joining you today as well. I mean, we've been obviously aware of Felipe's career over the last few years. Watched his domination in 22 in Formula 2. We've watched him in the Formula E car on numerous occasions. He's always been right up there. And then, really, I think the thing that captured everybody's attention was his performance at Berlin with the Mahindra. In difficult conditions. I mean, the peloton style racing is very unique to Formula E, and for someone to be able to come in and do as well as he did on sort of his debut weekend, I think was a super strong performance. But, we know he's not really a rookie. you know, I mean, he's designated as a rookie with us, but he's super experienced. And, you know, we're looking forward to, you know, not just this season, but also season 13 with a Gen 4 car, and having somebody of his ability, his experience in developing cars, I think is going to be super useful for us. And, you know, whilst he might not have done so much racing over the last 2 or 3 seasons, he's certainly done an awful lot of development work. And I think that is going to be very critical for us as we, you know, we aim to get back up to the top of the standings as a competitor in Formula E.
I would like to talk about Gen 4 a little forward, but there was one thing that Felipe said earlier when we were talking to him, was that the connection between him and the team started back in 2022 and it never faded away. And you now just mentioned his performance in Berlin. How much was it a factor in choosing him for this next season?
Yeah, I mean, we had spoken to him on a couple of occasions about joining us in the past. I think at the time, you know, he was fresh out of F2. You know, he was a championship winning driver. No reason he shouldn't have a race seat in Formula One. You know, I think he's more than capable of you know, being up there with the very best in F1. You know, circumstances didn't work out that way for a variety of reasons. And, you know, we were always talking to him and just saying, you know, let's just stay in touch. And we did actually get quite close a couple of years ago to getting him in the car. However, you know, we got quite close, but not quite close enough. And this time when I reached out, it was an immediate, yes, let's talk. You know, for me, it was always the previous times I was reaching out and, yeah, we're just waiting on this one F1 thing and maybe that will happen. And you know, we never followed up those conversations. But this time there was a definite change in everybody's approach. And they were like, you know what, now is the right time to make the move. And I think he's just so excited to have that proper program in front of him and the opportunity to go racing. I think he's really up for it. And you can sense that. I was with him last week. He was over in Banbury doing the seat fit, and he was just excited about it. You know, he was normally drivers moan and complain about doing seat fits, but he was in there, he was doing it because he was just like, this is part of getting ready to go racing, getting ready to go to Valencia for the test, and then, you know, kicking off the season in Brazil in December. So he's very focused. He's back over this week. He's going to be on the simulator with us. So, you know, the preparation's already started. He's already had a run on the simulator a couple of weeks ago. So, you know, he's getting into the groove again. And I think he's just, you know, very positive about everything right now.